Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. You ever heard the expression, I'd rather be a living slave than to be a dead king? I'd rather be a living slave than to be a dead king. This is the story of mankind. Mankind put on an earth where all of the resources that would ever be required in the existence of mankind, all of the resources are made available to mankind. Whether they are above the earth, seen or unseen, on the earth, seen and unseen, or in the earth, seen and unseen. And mankind wired individually with different responsibilities and same what we'd call capabilities to play a part in the exercise of creation of goods and services that they determine are necessary for them to live the kind of life that they choose to live at any given point in time. Magnificent mankind, endowed with all of this fantastic abilities, capabilities, power. And yet, the only thing that you had to do to enjoy this throughout eternity is to trust your parents, to trust those who made you, to trust those who love you, to trust those who would do nothing to harm you. And as long as you do that, you're safe. But never stray away from it, because when you do, then you are unsafe. Well, just like any parent who loves their child, their children, when those kids leave out of the house, the first thing they're going to hear from someone else is to do something different than they have been taught to do it. Do it different than the way you show them. Many kids will stick to what you do, what you say. Many of them will. For a long period of time. Somewhere down the line, they usually will stray. The most that you can do that you can't hide is to become promiscuous in your sexual activities. A man says he's not going to do anything because he was taught not to, but then he does. And she says she's not going to do anything because she's taught not to, but then she does. And then the evidence, there it is right in your face. I didn't do it, but the evidence is right there. So you have to go through the consequences of an experience that you've never experienced before. And there you are. That's it in a nutshell. But for those of you who like the story about the evil snake, about the evil voice, the voice that says you will not surely die, knew what death was because he had gone through the experience of death. It was being separated from the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You walk in the truth, and you will stay free. Get outside of the truth, and you're lost. You're going with things that you want, things that you don't want, because you don't know the difference. You don't know the difference in the steps that you make. You have to learn. The wisdom, the spiritual knowledge is not there anymore. You have to learn. And so when someone talks you into violating what your parents say do, you don't die. You just have to go through a consequence that they warned you of. So when the snake has convinced you what death was, and when you do what the snake has convinced you to do, and you find out that what he said death was didn't, now you are truly confused. But the good maker left this in your hand by giving you choice. But mankind has said, I do not know the difference. I do not know the spiritual life. I do not truly know God. And so while I had powers to control everything, to make sure that each individual was always blessed. I have relinquished that to the deceiver because I don't know what's going on. And I don't want to die. If you knew the truth would tell you that the death is the door to eternal life. Because no one can be bound. Not even death can bind life. Not even death can bind life. So you live. And death will threaten you to keep you from living. But you live anyway. And death will come there and think it's taking you, only releasing you. But to those who don't know the truth, it will scare the heck out of them. And they would say, I'd rather be a living slave with no property, with no rights, trusting in someone to feed me, trusting in someone to wake me, trusting in giving someone authority over me, telling me what to do. I would rather be like that, take beatings, be raped by them, be abused by them. All of these things I would rather have done to me. Just let me breathe. Just let me walk around thinking that I'm living. That's the story of mankind today. But this message is to tell you that you have the power to change it at any point in time that you desire. The Maker has made it that way. And you do have the power. Nevertheless, do you know that? Or would you rather be the king? Would you rather be the queen? Would you rather be the prince? Would you rather be the princess? You were designed, you are designed to be. Bye-bye.